Oh, well, hello there again, friends and family. So good to see you today as we're sitting out here in the yard enjoying a nice cool day in the mid-70s under overcast skies. But we'll take it, because any day you're above ground is a good day. And that's something I want to talk about today, because oh yeah, I had an incident here yesterday that really brought some perspective to my life, and I thought it might bring some to yours. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube channels. You know, it's basically my entertainment, and I like to keep track, you know, different channels, gardening, homesteading, prepping, see what's going on, sort of get a heads up if I can. And often it prompts me to do my own research and then figure out whether it's just all about the hype, agenda, what have you, or whether it's real. But what happened yesterday? Well, because I was going to be lazy, didn't feel like cooking. And I thought, well, you know, I'd do a little quick run. And it was during the course of that trip that something happened that brought a whole different perspective into my life again. And you might wonder what I'm talking about. You know, here on social media, and we all know on mainstream media as well, they used to be the culprit. Now, more than ever, it's social media. And on social media, they tend to talk about, make predictions, or say could be, would be, might happen, all kinds of major events and catastrophes. And actually wrote some of them down. You know, it's everything from earthquakes to tsunamis, volcanoes, it's pretty popular right now, meteors, real popular, CMEs, EMPs, nuclear war, of course starvation, you know, food shortages, floods, landslides, extreme weather such as tornadoes, hurricanes, hyperinflation, financial collapse, World War III, and I'm sure I left several out. But you know me, all my life, to my real-time life, friends and family, my children and my grandson, and now so many of you, wherever you may be, I promote being prepared to an extent for the most obvious things that can happen in your life, which are, I might add, none of the things, or most of the things I just mentioned. One of the things that I think you should be prepared for with certain things such as food, you know, everyday medical supplies, cleaning supplies, you know, clothes and what have you that you'll need on a daily basis, you know, is for a disabilitating accident, the loss of your job. Yeah, sure is. Because those two can happen to any of us on a moment's notice. You know, I also promote being prepared for likely most common catastrophes that could happen to you in your area, like here where I live in Alabama. You know, floods, depending on where you live in the state, could result in wiping your life out and everything you own. Hurricanes, the closer you live to the coast, no, Mr. Tom ain't, even though he's about 150 miles in, I've seen him make it all the way up here as a Category 3, which ain't cool. And then, of course, But every spring, summer, now in the fall, and even winter, we live under the constant threat of tornadoes, which apparently I've seen over the last few years are now dropping down and destroying areas that haven't seen tornadoes in most people's lifetimes. Not that they haven't been there. Well, hello, Spooky. Spooky decided he wants to visit. Say hello to all of y'all. Now he's gone. He just wanted to say hi. So, those things that can obviously happen in your life. Recession's one. That can happen. I've lived through several. Some really bad ones. Like the Great Recession. That was unfortunate timing for a lot of seniors who had their savings and investments wrapped up in their 401ks, their Roths, what have you. And for many during that time, they saw anywhere from 45 to 75% losses. And there wasn't a whole lot they could do about it. People often give seniors, a bad rap. You should have saved all your life. In fact, I had a comment on my previous video where I went shopping at Superfoods that, seniors' predicament is because they didn't invest and save. Of course, I had to reply and tell this man that I had done that all my life. But events in my life had wiped those investments and savings out from time to time. Yeah, they surely did. And I know that's happened to way, way more than just old Mr. Tom. And as you know, I have food. I promote, start out 2 weeks. Try to work your way up to 3 months. Then get to 6 months. That's better. And the best, in my opinion and mind, is 1 year. If you can get there. And it don't got to be fancy stuff. It can just be the basics. It'll get you by. But that list of catastrophes and major events, solar storms, geomagnetic storms, we've talked about that, and all that, I see so many people concentrating on those. And then what happened yesterday brought me full circle back to where we may be worrying far too much about the rare events and the big things than we are about what can happen in our everyday lives. And that's what happened yesterday, where a simple trip would almost become a tragic event in my life. Yep. And it only took a few seconds. But thankfully, by my quick actions, and I do believe the grace of God, I was spared. And I'm going to go take you over and show it to you. And then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about maybe what we should be remembering and concentrating on. Okay? Well, hello, Speedy. Good to see you. I see you're whiny as usual. Well, where we're going is we're going to go here to the little old Focus. Y'all been in it many times. In fact, you went with me Friday to Superfoods. Right off the bat, you're going to see where we're at today with the little old Focus. Yep. You can see we got our donut on right there. And what you're looking at right here is what's left of that there left front tire. You see it? All mangled and shredded. Yep. That it is. It's gone. Now, That all took place in the blink of an eye because of another incident that happened just seconds before. And that's what I'm going to talk about, because it reminds me that the things we take for granted and the things we do in our everyday life are more chances to happen with more detrimental, life-changing effects than any of the catastrophes I mentioned earlier. So y'all were on the front porch, and I showed you what's left of the left front tire. Now, how did all that happen? Well, like I said, around 3 yesterday, even though I went and bought, my groceries, I just really didn't feel like cooking. Had a little extra money left over. So I thought, I'd just run on over to Jack's. Pick me up a little old cheeseburger and fries. Yeah. Pick up the kitty crew. Some extra chicken tenders. Yeah. And that's what I went to do. And as I approached Jack's, nothing was coming in the oncoming lanes. I looked. And I was going to make a sweeping turn, not a hard turn. And I'd slowed. I'd turned my blinker on. And I just started that turn when, almost out of nowhere, a large, white, jacked up F-250 was bearing down right on top of me. Within a second, I floored the Focus, cut the wheel hard, no disregard to where it was going to be heading. My thought was I'd make the entrance, but I cut it a little bit too short. But thankfully, by goosing the Focus, stomping it to the floor, cutting the wheel hard, and the fact that at the very last second, the Ford truck swerved just a touch, just a little bit. But the path I had taken, the Focus would jump the small grassy median with the curbs, about 8 to 10 inches high, concrete, there in front of the restaurant. And it hit her hard. And popped my old head on top of the roof, it did. And we come down the other side. Well, initially, I got out real quick, look, didn't seem to be no damage. Though I was quite surprised, of course, the truck never checked up, never even slowed down or hit the brakes. In fact, I could hear him roaring on down 229, heading to the interstate. So I went ahead and pulled through the drive-in. Wasn't nobody there. Made a quick order. And probably for the first time in my entire life, pulled up to the drive-in window, paid my money, and we were gone. Probably didn't even take 2 minutes. But then, I had her home. And initially, the car was driving fine. But then, as I started to approach the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, I heard a noise. And then there was some vibration, some rumbling. And as I was trying to cross the bridge, it was getting worse and worse, and the car was pulling to the left. Well, for whatever reason, the impact to that tire, I guess it ruptured it internally. When I was driving back to the house, it decided to blow out. Of course, I was faced with having to get the car off the bridge. So once I got it back under control from the blowout, I crippled it off the bridge and pulled over on the side of the road. Took a look at, what happened to the tire. And those particular tires are supposed to be run low, not really run flat, except for little ways. So I thought, okay, it's already tore up, and it was. I'll just creep it on back home. And that's exactly what I did. And what you see of the tire was exactly how it was when I started creeping it back home. I mean, it was already tore all to pieces. But from what I can determine today, the little Focus is okay. Didn't get wrecked. The suspension all looks fine. I've crawled under it. Once I put the donut on, albeit it's not the same as the regular tire, it drove out fine. Wasn't pulling one way or the other. Which, this gets back. It's, you know, your everyday things you do that you take for granted that can really impact your life severely. I mean, the loss of that car, though I've got my truck, I actually got another truck. So would I be without a vehicle? No. But the other trucks, they're just not as comfy as the Focus. And plus, they're not a time machine. As many of y'all know, I've been with the channel. But anyway, that would have been a great financial loss to me. And do I have full coverage on it anymore? Well, oh no, it's an 8-year-old car. To pay full coverage would just be throwing money away, because they'll total the car for a little bit of nothing, and there you go. So that would have been a big one. Had I not, in the final seconds, seen that truck, or I heard him first and turned to look and saw him, and floored that Focus and cut that wheel hard, he'd have hit me right dead center in the center post on the passenger side. And like I said, he's coming at a high rate of speed. He was in a hurry. And there's no telling. Car would have been totaled, no doubt. I'm sure, since I ain't a spring chicken anymore, I would have been injured to some point. And even being the case, when I hit that curb so hard, I did pop my head pretty good up on the roof. Not enough to bend it, but enough to make my little old top of the head sore, you know. Ain't got much hair up there for cushion anymore. But we're all fine today. And the Focus, for the most part, is fine. Now, I gotta go buy a new tire. That ain't no biggie. Is the rim warped or cracked? Well, we'll find that out tomorrow. But even if I gotta buy a new rim, I'll probably just get one out of the salvage yard up the street. It'll be okay. And this video ain't about a sympathy party for Mr. Tom, pity party, and I don't need anything. I got it covered. The video is about this incident, which I might add, could have been a serious accident with injuries to at least me. Happened less than a half a mile from a very serious accident that I had in 2005. Yeah, just up the street, sitting waiting to make a turn, when another vehicle, person in a big heavy Buick, slammed into the rear of my truck doing 65 plus on that road, which at the time had a 45 mile an hour speed limit. Now it's 35, but it's not like anybody heeds it but me. Well, a few others. Yeah. So it was just a snap back in time to what can happen close to home. And I think we've all heard this. Driving is one of the most dangerous things any human being can do. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact. We've also probably heard that over 52% of all accidents happen less than 5 miles from your home. Yeah. In fact, it drops way down to only 1%, or actually 50 miles or more from home. So it's between 0 and 50 where the majority of accidents happen. You know, and a lot of that is because, you know, a lot of people, like I did for years, commute back and forth to work. And there were times when I commuted for, you know, an hour and a half each way, hour, 45 minutes. In fact, the last job I had was the shortest, next to the shortest commute I'd ever had. And it still took 20 minutes each way, which is nothing compared to the commute I had to the job before that, which on a good day was 45 to 48, on a bad, hour 15. So, that's what I wanted to bring up today. And I wanted people to think about, you know, as everybody's panicking over all these events, you know. Supposedly there's some big planet out there, Planet X, in the Baru, that's just going to rip us apart any day now. Yep. I can't find that sucker. Neither can nobody else, apparently. But there's a lot of computer-generated images of it. But I mean, it's the whole list of things. And if you start looking at statistics, which I spent some time last night doing, you know, what's the statistical probability of me here where I live? And of course it changes, and your chances may increase some or decrease some depending on where you live, of me dying here for an earthquake. About as probable as me winning the lottery. Of me getting hit and dying from a meteor, 3 or 4 times chances of winning the lottery. In other words, not very probable. Even when I started looking at the probability of, you know, dying from a hurricane, tornado, flood, wildfire, yeah, forgot that one. The statistical probability is extremely low. Now, like I said, depending on where you might live, your probability may be higher. People do die in all these events that I aforementioned. Everything from flooding to earthquakes to wildfires to what have you. Solar storms. Couldn't find anything out about how many died from them. I did look into that meteor one quite hard, and I think there was one person during recorded history that just died from getting hit by a meteor. Yep. But there are a lot of people that worry about all these things, and they prep for them. Which is all fine, because I guess if you're prepped up to the nose for those events, then you're prepped up for the ones I try to convey to people to actually prepare for. So it's not that's a bad idea. But I just think nowadays, in this environment of social media, I mean, we're just saturated with it, that there's far too much concentration on these catastrophic events. I mean, even what the current situation is that came on the scene in late 2019, and we've been living through 2020 and 2021. Even that has not turned out to be nowhere near anything that was ever portrayed on Hollywood or TV. Not yet. Not saying it couldn't. Or by those who were warning us about it. So far, I've not seen zombies yet, or had any reports of them. If you've heard of any, let me know. But I think I even got that covered, you know, brass and lead. My two favorite metals. But I just wanted to come out here Sunday and remember to enjoy the time that's been given to me. Enjoy the simple things. Walk out of the house. Shut the computer down. Leave the phone on the desk. Listen to the birds. Watch the sky. Enjoy these fall temperatures. Enjoy the kitty crew. Because at any moment in your life, when you least expect it, because that's exactly what happened yesterday, when I set out to make that little trip that shouldn't have took 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on how long I had to wait. Less than 3 miles from my house. There was no way I had an inkling or even thought. That's how my day would end and carry on in today. So y'all, I hope this video makes you think, ponder, reflect on the direction you may be taking in your life. And hopefully you'll reflect on some of what you may be missing because of attention and concentration on events that have about the same chance of taking your life as winning the lottery. And yeah, I know some will say, somebody's got to win it. Yep. And for the vast majority of the world, that ain't us. I guess what I'm trying to say, be thankful for every minute you have. And you prepare as you want or need, but I hope you'll cover the basics. The things that have a far greater chance of happening in life than catastrophic events. So, I hope this Sunday afternoon finds you all well, safe and happy with your friends, family, and loved ones. And your furry friends too, whichever ones they may be. And if you have a reptile or snake, hey, that's all good too. Or you might have a bunny, hamster, gerbil, whatever makes you happy. Keep a smile on your face. Until the kitty crew, the big kitty, and grace to see you on the next video. Take care, stay safe. May God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. Goodbye for now. Spooky, you always got my back, don't you? You got my back, buddy? You ready to go in? Yeah, right on camera. You decide to clean up the derriere. Well, it's getting close to chow time. I'm thinking salmon. What are you thinking? It's Sunday. We normally have fish. Now, I'll see if I can scrounge up a can of salmon, you know. I think I can. Okay. I think I can. Will that make you happy? I think he'll be happy. He always is. It's just another beautiful, wonderful day in the neighborhood. Might not be bright, sunshiny skies, but it's calm, it's peaceful. The temperature is perfect. Yeah. We'll take this. Magoo, you gonna sit way out there? Magoo. You gonna head back? Yep. Goo's heading home. Second home. Not time to play, spook. Speedy, you ready for salmon? You want salmon or you want tuna? Huh? Well, let me go in and get a boat from Gracie too. If you see Cleo, get her boat. Come to the screen door and let me know, okay? Y'all go ahead and converse about it right now. Oh yeah, let's see what Gracie's up to. Later all.